What's up, guys? Let's talk Airgun reviews, or maybe the lack of Airgun reviews, because I was really kind of shocked. So I've been on YouTube for a few years now. I've got an actual wildlife photography channel. And one of the things I immediately noticed with the Airguns is the constructive criticism is not looked upon very highly. And, you know, in doing so, I've said some things against Daystate where I'd have people write, say, oh, you're just an FX fanboy. I could see it in your banner. And then recently I've put out my FX video Pantera issues, and another guy, or a couple of them actually, accused me, oh, I can't believe, you know, you're just a FX paid hater. Look at his videos. And then other people like, comment on that. And I'm like, yeah, you know, part of me wanted to just delete it. I'm like, you know what? It wasn't too negative. Another few guys are really, really negative, and I just kind of deleted their post because it was very toxic in nature. And so, but other than that, you know, guys talking about how I'm trashing FX or I'm doing this, and it's like, okay, you want a real review, because look at the reviews for Airguns. Now, I'm going to show you this guy named Gerald Undone. He is very well known for being very thorough in cameras, and actually he reviews this camera. And here's what he starts off with.
Today we're going to be discussing this, the Sigma FPL, a camera that has confused me more than any other I reviewed on this channel.
Okay, so after that, he goes through like 30 minutes of inspection of the camera system, or he talks about it. It probably took him a week or two to do all this, but he went through it very thoroughly. And then he's kind of wrapping things up on his thoughts. And here's what he says.
Just can't understand why anyone would want to shoot with this camera, especially for $3,000, when there are other cameras out there that give you a much better image for a lot less effort and for less money.
And then after he gets done with that, he doubles down and he says, and here's his buying suggestions.
The best thing Sigma could do for this camera is to drastically drop the price and install a nice 10-bit log image to an internal codec that can be written to the SD card. Then the size and design language might make some sense. But in the meantime, I cannot recommend this camera.
Now I went through the comments on that. I own the camera he's talking about, and I agree almost 100% with what he says. But I went through the comments, and there weren't very many people that were angry with him. And to be honest, he did give the Sigma cameras an absolute thrashing. I mean, you can tell, right? Sigma was fine with it. The places that lend him the cameras are fine. That's kind of expected, that you'll gauge things in a constructive way. So some of the areas where these reviews on Airguns, it's just crazy. It's like, okay, you did a review and they're more infomercials, but you've done a review and you go through this, oh, it shoots great, blah, blah, blah. But at the $1,000 price point or $1,500 price point, you don't suggest any other guns that are in the making where it belongs and the accuracy, or you don't say, this thing's bad. It's all positive. Like the entire gun is positive, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's like an $80 gun or a $3,000 gun. It's all the same. Man, shoots like they do. They do trick shots. They'll do this. Oh yeah, rinse, repeat, next rifle. See, the thing with YouTube that they don't tell you is we have stats on this. I can tell you that my main subscriber is anywhere from 55 to 65, like 70% of the guys. The next age group is 55 to 65. They watch an average about 4.5 to 5 minutes. And I can tell you where you speed up on videos, where you slow down, where you rewatch. There's some other metrics. Hey, you got income, you got all this kind of stuff. But the game for YouTube has become, it used to be guys in their basement like me, and now it's all these influencers. They're influencing you to buy. They want to do this. It's the money. So I subscribe to probably 80 to 100 airgunners. About half those guys at least do airgun reviews. And I'm appalled at, like, they're not giving any plus or minuses. They're not telling you, hey, this gun runs in this price range, or this gun might be better for this or that. You know, every gun has a strength and weakness. The Airgun Leshy is an awesome, light, compact gun, but it's not something I would suggest for bench rest. A positive and a negative. No one ever says that. They're like literally just kind of trying to push this narrative. They give you the PDF and that. And so I got a little bit more digging down into the guts of this, and I've called a couple different airgun suppliers or sellers, talking with them. And they were kind of shocked, like, well, you want to do a review? And I'm like, yeah, do you have any air guns I could like do a lender? I could do a review. Well, we might be able to supply something, but you just can't say anything. There's maybe an NDA that you sign, and there's things that they want you to say and maybe not want to say, and that. So we got 80 to maybe 100 guys out there doing air gun reviews, and they're all positive. So if you're saying something negative, you're not going to get another gun, or you might break some kind of agreement. And that's where we're at now. Every air gun is like a 9 or 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 to buy versus letting it sit. Like a 7 or 8 that I'd give a lot of the air guns is a great air gun. It's really worth the time and effort. Probably worth to buy, but it has to fit you. I mean, this camera, the one that Gerald just trashed, was voted 2020 and 2021 worst camera of the year, but it does still serve a purpose. It's very good, world's smallest full frame camera, excellent video. They use some of this stuff in Hollywood, but it has its limitations, serious limitations. It doesn't mean just because you criticize something that it's not worth buying. It's just trying to put things in perspective, set expectations for the buyer, which we have a tendency not to do because the way the industry is, everything has to be a 10 out of 10. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to get that out to you. That's some of the comments I get time and time again, is just being like dead set honest. Every gun I purchase, I review. I've not received an air rifle to do a review that I have not bought with my own money. And in fact, if I got it from XYZ, I would say that up front. But that's the situation. Now I get hit with a lot of questions on, hey, could you do a 2022 best air rifle? Can you do this? What air rifle would you suggest, this or that? And I can't. It's a loaded question. Plus, I don't have access to all the rifles. I can't tell you what the best one in 2022 is because I've only had like maybe half of them or that around there. But there's the Scout and the RTI Prophet and Uruguay, and there's just all kinds of the raws, things I can't get my hands on. In fact, I wrote a couple of the new electronic gun. You guys will know. I wrote them, hey, can I have a lender copy? Because it's just coming out. It'd be great. And they're like, we don't have one to give you. We don't have one to lend you. Here's a PDF. And I was like, all right, thanks. That's the effort. They don't have to really put in much effort in marketing. In fact, some of the marketing in the airgun companies are, they're a little to be desired as far as the effort they put in, because they just figure you can put a $2,500, $3,000 stamp on it, something, say it's great, get a couple guys, influencers to go out there and market it, and it will sell. So there you have it, guys. Just want to get that out there. If you have comments, questions, concerns, write it down below, hit that subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you next week.